Sometimes you want to play a game that fulfills a power fantasy. Sometimes you want a deep story with rich gameplay that leaves you a changed person. And sometimes you just want to play a game with some sexy girls. Here are 5 games of culture for the Nintendo Switch. Starting off, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy is a canon fighting game set in the SNK universe. Taking place between King of Fighters 14 and 15, after the last KOF tournament, many of the fighters suddenly fall unconscious. When they awake, they find themselves in a mysterious mansion, and all the men have been turned into sexy ladies. From here, they're forced into a tag team tournament, fighting for their freedom. This isn't the deepest of fighting games. Your 4 face buttons are light, heavy, throw, and special, but the combat has 2 interesting gimmicks. First is that your health and your special meter are the same bar, so as you lose health, you gain more meter to use special moves with. Second is the finishing move system. Unlike traditional fighting games, you don't win the fight by getting your opponent's health to 0. Instead, once their health is low enough, you can use a finisher move, and only if it connects do you win the fight. But finishers require special meter, so you can't just spam them. The combat isn't particularly deep, but the fun comes from how during the story mode, every combination of fighters have unique cutscenes. Visually, they're all just the girls standing around talking, but it's still fun to hear all the interactions. Not a game you'd go back to often, but the combat is so simplistic that when you do, it's easy to start playing at a competent level within a few minutes. Our next game is a weird one. Panty Party is an arena fighter where you play as sentient panties. Depending on the style of underwear you choose, you might be equipped with swords, guns, cannons, boomerangs, and lasers. You play as Eureka, the warrior of love, who can talk to panties and has to stop an evil pair of panties from brainwashing the entire world. Eureka is turned into a pair of panties herself, and if she doesn't stop the evil panties, she will be stuck as sentient floating pair of panties forever. This one seems more like a joke than a legitimate fan service game. It doesn't reach the same level of culture as other games on the list. It has a pretty simple story mode, which is how you unlock the different playable panties. This one could actually be played with a friend. But, like SNK Heroines, you aren't going to get a deep gaming experience. It's fun for a few rounds, you'll get a few laughs, just don't expect to get more than a few hours out of this one. But hey, where else can you beat up boxer shorts as a lace thong with a bazooka? Our third game is where the real culture starts. Fighting games are technical, and Panty Party comes across as pervy at first, but quickly turns into a novelty. Galgun is a little more difficult to explain to anyone who walks in while you play. Not because it's complicated, but you're going to get some looks. There are 3 main games in the series, and a couple of spin-offs. The footage on screen is from the 3rd game, Galgun Returns, but they're all basically the same. You play as a pathetic high school loser who gets shot by an angel. All of a sudden, every girl wants to confess their love to you. The angel then informs you that if you don't find your true love by the end of the day, you'll never find love. From there, you choose which girl you want to pursue, and go through stages of rail shooting gameplay, fighting off all the girls by shooting them with your pheromone arrow until they become incapacitated by ecstasy. This game is not difficult. It's a pretty easy rail shooter. You can spend points you earn to buy power-ups, and there are a few minigames and boss fights that mix up the gameplay. The routes are all quite different, which helps with multiple playthroughs. All in all, Galgun is a fun way to spend a few hours. An average first run will last about 3.5 hours, with subsequent runs being cut down by 30 minutes to an hour. If you haven't heard of these next 2 games, then this is the part you should really pay attention, because these are the games you're going to want to figure out if you can play them one-handed. Moero Crystal H is a first-person dungeon-crawling RPG, where the party isn't just fighting monsters. Instead, you'll be fighting monster girls and other adult-themed enemies. Smut-reading goblins, UFOs with suspicious points on their tops, and golems made out of rubber are just some of the encounters you can expect. And if that sounds like too much for you, then why are you watching this video? The combat is fairly basic, but battles with monster girls always end in a close encounter. Although the combat is very standard for the genre, the real magic happens when you purify enemy monster girls by, and I can't believe this is real, rubbing them in touch-based minigames. It's exactly as ridiculous as it sounds, and you have to give the voice actors credit, these are enthusiastic performances. And don't worry, the Switch version is packed with extra risque content, including a bathing party mode, which helps improve team bonding, apparently. Remember in recent Fire Emblem games how you could spend time with your party members drinking tea or taking care of animals to improve party connections? Well, this is basically the same, just the developers had a whole lot less shame. Is it shameless? Absolutely. But if you're looking for a dungeon crawler and you enjoy games that don't take themselves too seriously and leans hard into the fan service, Moa Crystal H delivers what it promises. Just maybe play this in handheld mode if you don't live alone. If you thought roguelike dungeon crawlers needed more plot, then Omega Labyrinth Life is here to expand your horizons. This game combines turn-based RPG reminiscent of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series with bra sizes, because nothing says strategic depth like watching your heroine's power levels grow proportional to their assets. Here's the deal. Every time your party levels up, you don't just get stronger, they get bigger. And by bigger, I mean that the game's integral system, so important that they named the series after it, Omega Power, turns every stat boost into nothing less than a physics-defying celebration of anime fan service absurdity. Defeat enemies, your chest grows bigger. Pick up a flower, your chest grows bigger. Breathe a little too hard, believe it or not, your chest grows bigger. Oh, but wait, there's more. The bloom mechanic lets you kill any chance this video ever had of becoming monetized, in a minigame that is about as subtle as an English anime dub. You get to grow magical plants using the girls, as the game puts it, nectar. That makes me completely reconsider my thoughts on the farming sim genre. Is it ridiculous? Absolutely, and surprisingly self-aware at times. Omega Labyrinth Life knows exactly what it is. A shameless, over-the-top RPG packed to the brim with jiggle physics. And thank you Nintendo, because the Western release on PS4 is heavily censored. But someone at Nintendo said, no, we're leaving this gem as is. Omega Labyrinth Life is a chest-based power fantasy with zero apologies, and it is my pick for the best fan service game on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you for watching. If you have a game that you thought should have been on the list, please let me know so I can research and possibly make part 2. A like or subscribe would also go a long way, but until next time, take care, and I look forward to ranting for you again soon.